Yesterday, and some of you I'm very glad to see today. I'm Joy Nagel, the Humanities Program Coordinator. You know, we always begin these programs with a quick commercial for the Durham Library Foundation that makes all the programs possible. We're in the middle of our campaign, and it's called, it takes people of all stripes to make a great library. If you'd like to know more about what the campaign does beside these programs, just grab a brochure or ask me. And I'll also tell you about some upcoming programs. Unfortunately, I hope to have the new brochure, the July through October one, but it is at the mail house now. So if you're on our mailing list, you should get it hopefully by Thursday. It's supposed to be out today, so it's a little snafu with the printer. But this Thursday, right here at Main Library at 7 o'clock, we have Scott Ritchie, who is the three-time Indy Best Bartender in the Triangle, doing a program on prohibition cocktails. And you might wonder why we're doing this, but the theme for the summer reading club is sort of undercover and dig down deep and sort of illegal. So they decided one of the programmers decided he would do a program on cocktails. And he's actually, apparently Mr. Ritchie's going to bring a model still if anyone wants to see one. Then next Monday, a week from today, on July 1st, at the Stanford L. Warren Library, we're going to be reading or talking about Black Caesar, the rise and disappearance of Frank Matthews, Kingpin, who was born in Durham, and apparently he was quite the gangster and disappeared with a beautiful woman on his arm and a fortune, and he's never been found. So that might be a very interesting program too.
Good for him.
Indeed. And there's actually been a movie about him, apparently.
Yes, I think it's one of the I watched it.
Oh, really?
Is that the one?
I don't know.
American Gangster.
Well, this is called Black Caesar, but it could very well be
Could be the
that.
same guy.
Yeah, that's it. Right. We have to check on that. Our author tonight is LaToya Hankins. She is a native of North Carolina and currently lives in Raleigh. She attended East Carolina University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism with a minor in Political Science. During her college career, she became a member of Zeta Theta Beta sorority and later served as the second vice president for one of the largest graduate chapters in North Carolina. She currently works for the state of North Carolina's Division of Health and Human Services Department. She'll be talking about her book, SBF Seeking, coming out and coming into her own story set in North Carolina. She's presently working on her second novel, and I love this. She said her role models include Zora Neale Hurston and all the women who've given their time and talents and treasures to uplifting their sisters. And her motto is borrowed from Zora. I do not weep for the world. I'm too busy sharpening my oyster knife. So welcome with me, LaToya Hankins.
Hi, I'm mic'd up, so can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I feel so auspicious. Just a correction, I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So,
Can you move your mic high?
Is that a professional?
it is a service sorority, been around since 1920. You're fine. Is this better?
I don't hear it at all.
Is it on?
Maybe it's not. See, I'm such a magnetic person, I just
Yeah,
show
it just worked great. I know, right? No. Let's see what's going on. You go ahead and get
Can y'all
started.
hear me?
Yeah.
Perhaps I don't need the mic at all.
Well, we'll see if we can get it working.
I guess, hey, I'm not for the technology, why don't you?
Go ahead and start.
So I'm gonna start talking,
Yeah.
and then of course, as I talk, it's gonna get louder and whatever. But again, my name is LaToya Hankins. This is my first book, SBF Seeking, and for those who have not read it, I have copies available in the back. And if you can purchase them today, if you choose not to, that's fine. I'm just really glad you came out. It's also available in ebook form, so if you're an e-reader, Note, Kindle, whatever else the hot device is, this is better. Y'all can hear me now, right?
Yes.
You can buy it that way, and I have information as well. And just want to give thanks to Joanne and the Durham Library for having me. I'm really excited and happy, and as you can probably guess, I'm a little bit nervous. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the warning. If I get a little bit flustered, please bear with me. You know, it's one thing to write, but as you can probably guess, most writers write for a reason. They're not necessarily public speakers. So part of the collection for the Durham Library. So again, if you don't choose to purchase, which I really hope you would purchase, it's available here, you can check it out, and it's also in the Wake County Library. Single Black Female Seeking, I say Single Black Female Seeking. The title is SBF Seeking. And I've been so lucky that there have been really good people that have been able to interject with the SBF Seeking needs. And it is somehow biographical, but the real gist of the story is about making a decision to be true to yourself and not give in to what people assume. The overview of the story is Yvette Thurman, who is a magazine writer who lives in Raleigh, decides 4 months before she's set to get married to her college sweetheart to place an ad to meet a white man, just, fling. Who doesn't want to have a fling and not get into the non-stranger meeting the first night ad? So she places an ad, meets someone, and from that exchange, she decides, if this is so easy for me to do, to step away from what is expected, which is placing an ad to meet a stranger, maybe I need to rethink what else I need to do to explore what is being true to myself. So she calls a wedding off. She starts dating the usual characters, the cast of characters. She goes to bars and meets people through work, but that's not really the going thing for her. And then she is asked to do a favor by her boss, and that is to show her boss's lesbian sister around, who is moving in town. And she suggests that the lesbian boss's sister move in to her apartment complex, and she meets the lesbian boss's sister, girlfriend. And it's sort of that one eyes meet across the crowded room. Well, it wasn't really crowded, it was in the new girlfriend's living room, but the eyes meet. And she knew, I'm a lesbian. Well, she didn't know she was a lesbian because, how often does it really happen like that? But she knows a spark has been made. So that starts on another journey. And that culminates with her meeting her first girlfriend, who she falls madly, passionately, wildly in love with. And then she gets her heart broken. But she decides from all this that what she wants to achieve and what she had been seeking, where before she thought it was going to involve bookstores or restaurants or personal ads, was just a sense of self and the knowledge of whatever happens, good, bad, or different, as long as you're being true to yourself, you can get through it. So that's a synopsis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 2 to 3 passages, and then we can throw it up to questions. So now that I've given you the overview, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction, so I'm not jumping in totally like, you don't know what's going on. So this is after she's placed an ad, and she has the exchange, and she has come to a realization that she needs to call her wedding off. So she has called her fiance and told him the wedding's off. And he's like, she got cold called him at 7 in the morning. And so he's like, there's some conversation we need to have with you. So this is her calling him back. So it's just a wedding off, or are we on? He asked me when we finally talked. It took me 2 hours to form the conversation in my mind before I picked up the phone and called him. He answered on the first ring and got right to the point. Oh, are you sure about this? Maybe you and I both know we're not right for each other, I said.